Democrats. Joining us now, Congressman Will Hurd of Texas. He serves on the Intelligence and Oversight Committees. He's also a former CIA undercover officer. Will Hurd, always a pleasure to have you on the show, sir. What do you make of, now let's tick off the boxes. First, what Elijah Cummings said about the White House refusing to be cooperative, in his opinion, and therefore his decision to release some documents.
Well, Chris, I'm going to be limited in my response on this topic, partly because of my role in other investigations. But I'll say this: I have firm confidence in inspector generals, and having an inspector general do a review, you can count that they're going to do a thorough and detailed review. All right,
but I'm saying Elijah Cummings' move. What do you think of his move?
Well, you got to ask Elijah Cummings about that and the reason for his the showing of the documents. I haven't had the chance to sit down and review what Elijah has said and what he's provided. But again, if an inspector general is involved in something, that's always a good sign, because you know it's going to be thorough and detailed.
The idea of who is to blame for knowing about Michael Flynn taking money from Russia and Turkey, whether that was right or wrong, what do you make of the White House saying this is Obama's fault?
Well, the person who is to blame is the person who may have or haven't taken money, is what I would say on that. And let's make sure we have all the facts. And again, an inspector general being involved is a good thing.
Right, I get to with the Inspector General part, Congressman, but I mean, this is also about the political accountability here. I mean, Michael Flynn was the National Security Advisor for President Trump. He was one of his closest aides. They were very insistent on bringing him into the administration. Don't they own responsibility and a degree of accountability for that decision?
So are you saying that for every person that may work under you, you have responsibility for everything they have done in the past? I think this is an important issue that we get down to the bottom of and understanding where it is. And I think the right person to make sure we have all the facts is the Attorney General, excuse me, the Inspector General, and that this is something that once we have all the facts, we can make the decisions about where to place blame and who should have known about this and when they should have known about this.
Right, but what else do you need to know about this simple nature of you should do a background check on someone who's going to be your main national security advisor? This isn't number 7 at the Agriculture Department. You know, this is a very close quarters situation. You'd think that you would have known, especially with all the speculation going on about Russia. I mean, they would have been pretty reasonable questions to ask, don't you think? And by the way, Flynn wasn't keeping it secret.
Vetting is important when it comes to your senior national security people, and I can't disagree with you there. Having spent 9.5 years as an undercover officer, I value the vetting and the background checks and what you need to make sure that you do not have, any potential problems in someone's background or creating political problems that take you away from your mission.
So, but you're slow to criticize the White House on this. Why? What else is there that you want to know before you make a judgment?
Chris, it's just really I haven't looked at and had the chance to review all the things that my friend Elijah Cummings has said, and also being involved in other investigations. I'm slow to comment on activities because of those investigations.
All right. Let me ask you about something else. We had a Homeland Security Secretary the other day say, I'll tell you what scares me are these electronic attacks that we have here, and the ability to infiltrate our devices. Keeps me up at night, Secretary Kelly said. What is your take on that? You understand the area very well.
Mm-hmm. I think Secretary Kelly is a real professional, and that there is credible and real information to suggest that bad guys are trying to use all kinds of things in order to attack us. We're the biggest target. We're the thing that they all want to do, and the fact that Secretary Kelly is charged with protecting our homeland, and he has to make decisions about potentially inconveniencing passengers versus taking care of our safety. Those are difficult decisions to make. But I will say this: the men and women in TSA, the men and women in Department of Homeland Security are doing everything they can in order to find the right balance between inconvenience and safety. And it's a tough job, and seeing and understanding and realizing the number of threats that we have to our homeland, it's significant. And we got to have people that are willing to make tough decisions.
And it goes well beyond our airports, right? I mean, you have the Modernizing
Absolutely.
Government Technology Act you're bringing up, because every agency, every system is, you know, vulnerable to hacking, and you have to get ready for that. So what are you going to do with this proposed law?
Well, this law that we're introducing today, it's real simple. It's going to give the agencies the ability, if they save money, they can use it in future years to modernize their systems. This is going, we should be able to introduce the latest and greatest technology to defend our digital infrastructure and defend the information that the government has on American folks, whether it's Department of Education or the U.S. Census Bureau. And this bill is going to give tools to the chief information officers to make sure that you can introduce that technology.
Congressman Hurd, appreciate you being on New Day, as always.
Thank you.
Allison.